Innovation 2, Implementing Innovation in Educational Practice by Andrew Yates. Entry 5, critically evaluate the successes of the challenges you have encountered so far while implementing your innovation. As a collaborative group working on an innovation, we looked at how we can ensure students become intrinsically motivated and thereby students taking ownership of their own learning journey and not being impeded by it. We decided that by creating a tracking sheet that would allow the individual student to enter their progress and the teacher could see an overview sheet of all students' work, would allow students to have an increased feeling of ownership of their own learning and allow the teacher to view how all students were progressing and intervene when individuals seemed to be struggling. It would give students the ability to have a basic understanding of the overall plan of the year, yet have the flexibility and freedom to adapt and tailor their program to ensure unexpected and fascinating personal insights of learning occur in their overall journey. Therefore, working through the design process, it became increasingly apparent that the teacher could be seen as more of an air traffic controller rather than the ever-present guide or instructor, working in cooperation and collaboration with mutual respect, following the design process and allowing all stakeholders to have input made for a more engaging and relevant process. Over the course of implementing the collaboration, a range of thoughts and actions have occurred in order to facilitate engagement of intrinsically motivated students. I now believe that this should be the fulcrum of education, leadership and change. The ever-increasing disenfranchised in education need to be addressed and, as alluded to in Ken Robinson's discourses, need to be listened to, and more flexibility and individualisation of learning and its pedagogies need to be found. We need to find the human spirit that ascends over the complacency of the ordinary, of the disengaged, and encourages an affirmation of one's own personal wealth and esteem. Entry 6. Critically reflect on leadership during the implementation of your digital and collaborative innovation. The cooperative leadership model that we adopted as part of our innovation inquiry worked very well, as it allowed for a multitude of voices to be heard and have input into a tool that will be effective for all its stakeholders. I see our cooperative model encapsulating a number of leadership styles as set out in Daniel Goleman's leadership grid, whereby the whole process used a variety of aspects of leadership, including affiliative, democratic, pace-setting, and coaching. Each of these styles of leadership had their respective strengths and weaknesses, but by adopting each of these styles to match a particular situation or aspect of our design process, the journey allows for a far more effective implementation of the innovation. Therefore, the positives of using a myriad of leadership styles were purposeful and strong positive interactions and forged relationships between ourselves, the MindLab team, the students, teachers, and management within our school environment. The openness to being open allowed for a far greater degree of critical discourse and therefore allowed us to be purposefully targeting and refining the final outcome in an authentic and productive way. By working with like-minded people who understood each other's motivations and had a willingness to accept criticism as part of the learning process and not a direct personal attack on one's invested ideals, helped circumvent potential pitfalls. Working in this manner meant that we could support each other by using our own particular strengths, and when issues arose, our team could support each other as we all knew and fully understood the processes and procedures we had followed. The whole process could have easily fallen apart if the team was disjointed or had different agendas. This aspect of our innovation journey echoes the aspirations of the wayfinding, as outlined by Shelley Spiller in her TEDx Hastings talk, whereby leadership is a collective sharing of experiences and tasks in order for the whole team to succeed. Entry 7. Critically reflect on what Kopapa Maori principles informed opportunities for digital and collaboration innovation you will be passionate about focusing on in the future. As alluded to previously, the analogy of the pilot of a plane relates very closely to Shelley Spiller's wayfinding model, whereby a team journeys into uncharted territory. The collaboration through the effective teamwork of all stakeholders allows for a successful journey, where everyone is vital for its ultimate success. Within the context of Kopapa Maori, the website Rangahu outlines a number of key principles and elements, including Tino Rangatiratanga, the principle of self-determination, which I believe evokes the spirit of my own beliefs in both helping students discover autonomy and the collaboration of innovation journeys of our inquiry by using multiple voices in a free and open discussion. I also believe that the innovation itself highlights the exposure to the aforementioned principle, as the digital innovation was designed to give students independence of their creative journey, but also ensure the teacher could have an oversight of each and every student to ensure they were learning productively and progressing in a timely manner. This was done in an omnipresent overseer who would intervene when individual students needed help and was not designed to undermine the students' independence. The concept of gamification was also in our thought process as we developed our innovation, and the ability for students to track their progress through a tick box tracking system allowed for students to gain a sense of achievement when ticking off elements of their journey as they progressed. The innovation is not a static finalized solution, but one that will develop and adapt to both the students' and teachers' needs as our school adapts to a future-centric learning approach to teaching and learning, and echoes the prophet of education paradigms of Sir Ken Robinson. Some initial thoughts on the tracking sheet upgrades could, for example, be an urgent help button or a comment section, but any upgrades would need to be consulted with all stakeholders and a willingness to listen to all stakeholders on a regular basis to ensure it's vital part of the learning journey and bring in the process more voice from whānau, which echoes the heading whānau, the principle of extended family structures within the website Rangahu. Entry 8. Critically reflect on how you could lead future change in the digital and collaborative learning context, taking account of your learning experiences on the DCL program. Forward thinking towards what the future has in store for my own personal development and in initiating a positive change in digital and collaborative learning, I feel that through my role as a within-school teacher for the Horwhenua Kahuiako would allow the additional skills learnt through the DCL program to enhance and build on the prior inquiry and strengthen a breakout inquiry. The WST role has allowed me to work jointly with primary and secondary school sectors of education for an inquiry that looked into creating seamless learning transitions for students moving from one sector to another. This inquiry revealed that there is a collective consensus between teachers, whānau, students and leadership to initiate meaningful change in implementation of an inclusive initiative throughout the Horwhenua district. This, in collaboration with the Manaya Kalani initiative undertaken by the Kahuiako and the majority of its schools from primary and secondary areas, does seem to address a lot of the issues indicated in my initial inquiry, but a small number of schools are not taking part in this initiative, so my inquiry will be around addressing some of the digital learning and collaboration issues around them not joining the wider initiative. I have enlisted a teacher from one of the local schools who is also a WST, and we are starting to investigate digital solutions in the context of transitioning digital knowledge and skills. All of this needs to be done not in a confrontational, authoritative way, but through cooperation and inclusion in order to ensure we gain a strong and powerful group as highlighted in Derek Sivers' Starting a Movement. When connected with Irish LF's leadership and followers video, the two similar concepts had a particular resonance with me, in which they demonstrated the importance of not creating an initiative alone, but through a focus group that believes in the concept of the power of digital learning. From this, others may follow as they witness the power of the initiative, and through this, a greater and more sustainable outcome can occur.